And then this is an interesting Hyperkin peripheral that was announced.
Yes.
It sort of came out of left field, and I was like, huh, this isn't exactly... It's interesting because every once in a while you'll see this stuff like the Game Boy attachment for your smartphone, which still is coming out later this year. But this is something you can use like right now that could appeal to some people, but we're not sure who.
Yeah. So Hyperkin is releasing a mouse for the Super Nintendo.
A third-party mouse.
A third-party mouse to make them more easy to come by. They're not exactly expensive on the used market, but they're also not always readily available.
Probably not in the best shape always either. Are they?
No, they're not. Although, I mean, you can clean them and stuff, but they're I don't think people realize that there is actually a number of games outside of Mario Paint that people can play. In the store, I think most people the only other games that people actively seem to know that you can use it with are King Arthur's whatever, because that's supposed to be a pretty good game, and
King Arthur's World.
Yeah, King Arthur's World and Civilization. But there are a number of other games that it can be used.
We can
with.
go through them. We'll go through the U.S. ones here on the list here because it's more than I thought. It's probably between if you look at Japanese and U.S. games, you're looking at something about 40 to 50. But just U.S. looks like it's more like 20 to 30. You have Acme Animation Factory, Advanced D&D Eye of the Beholder, Arkanoid, Do It Again, which makes sense. You can move quickly left and right. That's actually a pretty good idea. Breakthrough. I'm not familiar with that. Cannon Fodder. That's a PAL only game. I don't think I've ever played that before. I don't think I've seen that.
On the Ball, which is that makes sense actually because you want to be able to rotate fast or slow on that one.
Sure. Doom, first person shooter, makes sense. Fun and Games, Lord of the Rings Volume 1, Jurassic Park. I'm guessing for the first person section.
I would guess, yeah, because I can't think of where else you would use it.
King Arthur's World, which you brought up, Lamborghini American Challenge, maybe to drive. There. Lemmings 2 makes sense. Point and click.
Yep.
Mario Paint, which is the only way you can get the damn thing in the U.S. Mario's Early Years, preschool fun. Might and Magic 3, which that's a computer game. That would be helpful.
Yeah, same with the Dungeons and Dragons. That makes total sense as well.
Nobunaga's Ambition. It's a strategy game. A hell of a lot easier to use in a crosshair on a controller.
And then like a lot of the arcade shooting games that didn't necessarily support the Super Scope, like Revolution X, Terminator 2, the arcade game. Operation
Thunderbolt, which I didn't know until like 2 years ago, was on the Super Nintendo. That's a hard to find game. Pieces. Let's see what else you got here. Xian's Revenge. Is that a Mahjong game or?
Shanghai. Both of the Shanghais, I guess, which are Japan only. Use it, which is the puzzle mahjong game.
Okay.
And then Xian's Revenge, I'm guessing, is a strategy game. Sid Meier's Civilization makes perfect sense. Sim Ant makes sense. Knowing this now, and I think if people actually take the time to look at it...
Oh, Xian's Revenge is a first-person viewpoint as a player aims a cursor at enemies to throw shurikens or slash with a dagger. That's like Super Spy for Neo Geo. That sounds really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's neat. I didn't know that. I think if people actually look through this list now that this is being released, I think there might be somewhat of a resurgence in interest in the mouse.
Vegas Stakes.
A lot of these games would benefit from mouse control.
Yeah.
I mean, Eye of the Beholder is a great game. I wouldn't necessarily want to play it with a controller, but with a mouse, absolutely. Might and Magic 3, for sure. If you're going to play Civ on the Super Nintendo, definitely would rather do that with a mouse.
I wonder if this announcement alone... It was sort of the marketing plea to be like, okay, people like us to look into the full list and be surprised by some of the choices. To be like, oh, I need to get my mouse out if I don't have one,
right?
Or go and buy it. But for $20 though, that's not a bad price, I don't think, for that. But you can find the mice fairly easily still.
Yeah, I mean, we sell Mario Paint with the mouse and the pad for $20, and it sells all day. So
right now, if I search for SNES mouse on eBay, there's 260 listings.
There you go.
$10 free shipping. $22 with Mario Paint. $20 with Mario Paint and the pad. You don't find the pad as often as the actual mouse. $18 with the game. So if you take that game,
I think that's about average is $20 for the mouse in the game.
$16 just the mouse with free shipping. So I guess the choice is going to be: do you want a 25-year-old peripheral that could be banged up, or you get a new one for $20?
And we sell for instance, we sell the Mario Paint cartridge for $2. So a new mouse and the Mario Paint cartridge for $22.
It's in the ballpark.
I think
right?
that's not. I honestly don't think that's bad.
$15. Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to. Hell, I mean, if you go to a flea market, you can find them for $3. It's not like these cost for a lot. Or you'll find them in a. Well, then again, I'm trying to think. When I went to the last convention, did I find any by themselves? Probably like in a box of controllers, or you usually find it with Mario Paint there. So it's not. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. It's just, I guess, either this will create a mini resurgence in the retro gaming community. Like, it's almost like they've created a problem that most retro gamers didn't know existed, and are trying to fill that hole that they're now alert. It's like they're punching the hole in the wall, say, hey, there's that hole you didn't know was there before, or pointing out, oh, now I gotta play Revolution X on my Super Nintendo with a mouse. It's like,
and it also makes a lot of games that I like Camel Tree, which was called On the Ball in the US, that I like, but could never fathom playing with a controller, or Arkanoid Dode again. Like, now that I know that I could use a mouse for those, I would actually go back and try those again.
I think the one caveat here that no one's really taking into account: how are you gonna play it? Like where are you gonna play with a mouse pad? You're not usually on a traditional computer.
Right, because
playing
at this
Nintendo.
point we're also used to optical mice, and this is obviously not going to be an optical mouse.
But even still, if you're on your regular couch, we're gonna put it on your knee. And
that's
play
what
a
I'm
game?
saying. With an optical mouse, that actually wouldn't be a problem. But this probably isn't.
But even still,
it's
though.
not.
But even an optical mouse on your knee was not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be as precise. You can get away with it.
Yeah, I deal with it.
Yeah. Wait a second. How is that going to happen? What? Yeah, they probably.
Well, we all fucking did it back in the day. So
no, we didn't. There was no one fucking used the mouse back in the day.
I played Mario Paint.
Yes, you played Mario Paint.
Yeah, and used the pad.
This doesn't have a pad, though.
You make one.
You make one.
You take a fucking book off the shelf.
What did you sit down at the coffee table? You used to put it on there and played like that?
No, we just rest. I mean, you just rested the pad on your leg.
I think they're missing out here. I think they should have done a little contraption that folded up on your belly, and placed the mouse on there. Anyway.
All right.